About half an hour's drive north of Aberdeen, near Tarvis, is Haddo House, a stately home that's been in the care of the National Trust for Scotland for the last 40 odd years. As well as the house itself, designed by William Adam, there are beautiful grounds which are ideal for exploring and just getting away from the hustle and bustle of town. However, back in lockdown, quite a lot of that changed.
Tens of thousands of people in Scotland and the north of England still have no electricity 5 days after Storm Arwen caused what's being described as unprecedented damage to the power network.
We believe we've lost about 100,000 trees.
So anyway, I jumped in the van and hit the road. I got as far as Ellon and then decided to top up on some supplies and grab something to eat. Well, I kind of hummed and hawed about it. Quick pit stop to get some supplies, but I don't want to leave the van. Eventually I dived into Aldi and somehow managed to avoid buying a kayak in the middle aisle. How happy do they look?
The instructions.
It's almost a river. Trip to Aldi complete, and the van repacked. I jumped back in the van and continued on my way. If you've been to Haddo House before, the changes hit you just as you're driving in. Once I was parked up, I checked and, well, there isn't actually anything to stop you parking overnight. And in the evenings it's free anyway. Results. So I've had to break out the winter jacket. I have caved. It's bloody freezing. It's early July and it's Very eternal. Kind of slightly worrying. Anyway, welcome to Haddo House. What I love about this, it's another one of these nostalgia fests for me. We used to come here as kids and we'd spend the entire weekend here with the scouts. Down at the old Pheasant tree, they'd let us camp there for the weekend, so I'm going to head down there first. Pretty much have free reign in this place. I don't think there's anyone else here. It's me and the sheep and the birds. So yeah, I spend an awful lot of time here as a kid. We'd come and camp for the weekend with the scouts down at the old Pheasant tree, so I'll have a wander past there first of all. Apart from the odd bird flying past, it's lovely and peaceful. The old Pheasant tree. So that is the road in. Used to be an awful lot more trees, but like everywhere else around the country the last few years they've lost a few. When we came to Haddo House as kids, it was always with the scouts. We'd always camp in these massive green tents. And the buildings were just used for cooking and washing up and hiding away from the weather every once in a while. It's just me, or does that seem like the most random bike park in the world? I'm going to go and see if I can find the lake. And yeah, because it's a National Trust property, it is called a lake. Not very formal and proper. There's a little bird watching hut as well. But in the end I never did. I got kind of close. But everything feels so different. It's kind of eerie with so many trees now being gone. Kind of weird and strangely sad. There's a lone tree there. All his friends have gone. He's still standing. So, thankfully, with that little sign, I've managed to work out the lake is somewhere down this way. I did take the drone with me, and I really wanted to break it out and have a fly about and show you the sort of scale and size of Haddo House. And then you remember there's so much wildlife about. I have no idea what that is, but I can't help but think that breaking out the drone would be a pretty terrible thing to do. So I'm afraid for this one, you're just going to have to use your imagination as to how big the grounds are, but safe to say, it's a National Trust site, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. And the other thing is as well, there's cottages you can actually rent from the trust on the estate. So in theory, if you wanted to, you could actually live at Haddo House. I mean, I think the actual big house would be a pretty kick-ass Airbnb, but maybe that's just for when the coffers do get quite low. Wonder how much an Airbnb at Haddo House would be. That'd be pretty cool.